So Jeff Zucker recently resigned from CNN very abruptly. It came out that he was having a consensual affair. So no, whatever. He was having an affair with his number 2 executive. So he was the president and CEO. He was having an affair, I guess, with the vice president of marketing. It doesn't seem to be like too much of a power difference because she was his number 2. It's not like he was having an affair with like a low-level person. Anyway, I don't really give a shit that he was having an affair with this woman. Doesn't matter to me. But it's come out that his resignation, although it's been depicted as because he had an affair with a subordinate and didn't report it, because I guess Warner Media, who is the parent company, their policy is you have to report if you're in a romantic relationship with a subordinate or whatever. Let's read this. This is from the New York Post. Yes, it's from the New York Post, but others have reported this too. What Jeff Zucker's resignation could mean for Chris Cuomo's potential CNN payout. Chris Cuomo isn't likely to get much more than half of the $18 million he's seeking as a settlement. Oh, poor baby, only half of the $18 million he's seeking as a settlement in his feud with CNN now that Jeff Zucker has resigned. Zucker fell on his own sword in an effort to keep a possible Cuomo lawsuit against CNN from seeing the light of day, sources have told the New York Post. The ex-CNN chief was named multiple times in a draft of a suit, which hasn't been filed. So again, Chris Cuomo, who's out for bloody murder, he was fired from CNN for basically working for his disgraced governor brother while pretending to be a journalist on TV. So he got fired from CNN and he's going for his full contract, which is $18 million. So here, the New York Post is reporting, and others have reported this too, that Zucker really resigned to avoid this lawsuit from being filed, which might have shown even worse things. Zucker's resignation came as part of an agreement hammered out with AT&T chief John Stankey. Sources say AT&T owns
John
Time Warner and
Stankey?
CNN. Yes. Under the agreement, Zucker would leave CNN without a fight, and Stankey would settle with Cuomo, sources said. That way, Cuomo's potentially damaging additional accusations about Zucker would be kept from the public, these sources say. Well, what could those additional accusations be? According to an earlier report from the Post, Zucker and Allison Gollust, that's the vice president of marketing that he was having an affair with, the colleague with whom he is romantically involved, had an ethically dubious relationship with former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Zucker and Gollust would coach Governor Cuomo on his now infamous COVID briefings, telling him what to say and how to respond to criticisms from President Donald Trump to make more compelling television. There's the cover-up. So to be clear, Allison Gollust, who is apparently Jeff Zucker's whatever girlfriend, I don't know. She before she came to CNN, she was a major, I think, his spokesperson. So she worked for Governor Cuomo. So she goes from Governor Cuomo to Chris Cuomo or CNN, and apparently Zucker, the CNN president, and his girlfriend were basically as the heads of a news outlet working with Governor Cuomo to do his little COVID briefings. Kind of a conflict of interest, Steve. If soon after Governor Cuomo was doing his made-for-TV COVID briefings, and I lived in New York City at the time, it was must-see TV. I thought they were fairly informative, but the media was slobbering all over Andrew Cuomo. Remember, they were praying that Biden would drop out and maybe Cuomo could step into the Democratic primary.
The Cuomo-sexuals.
Right. But Steve, it would be very interesting if Zucker and Allison Gollust, so CNN, was working with Governor Cuomo for his press conferences, because wouldn't that kind of indicate maybe there's a reason CNN didn't want to cover the fact that Governor Cuomo was covering up the amount of seniors who died in nursing homes? Wouldn't it be kind of indicative if they were basically doing PR for a government official, Andrew Cuomo, why CNN would have Andrew Cuomo on to pal around with Chris Cuomo? Remember that graphic where Chris Cuomo put the giant nose thing up his brother's nose as Andrew Cuomo was literally sending seniors sick with COVID back to nursing homes? It came out after the fact. They they undercounted the amount of deaths in the nursing homes, I think by half or 50%. I don't know. Is it a cover up, like a police cover up? No. But is it a cover up of it kind of exposes that our mainstream media, the most trusted name in news, are basically doing PR for government officials?
The Clinton News Network is alive and well. I mean, as you were reading that, it reminded me of you on the floor of the DNC with Donna Brazil, a much smaller, much non-death oriented thing, but the same exact thing. I'm pulling for Chris Cuomo now. I want Chris Cuomo to bring hell from above. I'm going to be rooting for Chris Cuomo to make these guys have to out all the bullshit in the background now, because this has got to be a juicier story. It's just like the iceberg, right? There's this huge story beneath the water, and we're just getting this little teeny tip, and he's just resigning. I'm praying Chris Cuomo gets really ballsy and really pushes forward for this. That would be absolutely. I'd actually tune in to mainstream media for a minute to watch them try to do that theater. I think that would be worth the price of admission.
But I want to be clear about something, Steve, because we're having fun. But if Jeff Zucker and Allison Golis, the vice president, whatever, they're having an affair, if they were briefing with Governor Cuomo before his press conferences, what other government officials are they talking to? What other corporate CEOs are they talking to? Who else are they palling around with that they're supposed to be holding accountable? To be fair, it's not just them. I mean, MSNBC, same shit, different day. Morning Joe basically hangs out with politicians like Joe and Mika. They're not holding anyone accountable. They're all friends with the same government, the same politicians, corporate CEOs. They're trying to have. Remember, Chris Christie was lying about the bridge. Joe and Mika had him on palling around. So, but this is a major problem because we are in a never-ending information war, and this kind of drops the curtain. Who else are our journalists basically colluding with to deprive us of real information, to deprive us of cover-ups, to deprive us of name your pick of what they're covering up?
Leni Riefenstahl is blushing right now. Let's just leave it at that. Leni Riefenstahl is blushing. This is literally propaganda. I mean, you realize there's like a wall. There is a true balkanization of us and them. And that is one big fat corporation. You got it right. When you talk about the United Corporations of America, this right here is the PR department. There is the fake legislative department. There is the fake judicial department. There is the fake, all these things. It's all one big Schadenfreude. That means fake bullshit that is out there right now. And like I've been saying this, and it gets a little bit more each time we talk, but I'm at a point now where watching some of this stuff unroll, it really is like the Truman Show. It's like just bullshit. I mean, it's almost impossible to take some of these stories seriously anymore, because the only reason why it's even coming to light is because somebody told on somebody, or somebody got thrown under the bus. They were the patsy and they said, I'm not going to fall for you all. That's the only reason why you hear about it. I mean, it is just complete theater.
Right.
It's worse than reality TV.
There's multiple red flags here and crimes of journalism. Number one, Chris Cuomo was making $18 million to be a fucking PR stooge for his brother on CNN and to hold him accountable when he did no such thing.
Yep.
That's number one. These people make obscene money to basically lie to you, to basically push bullshit narratives, and on we go. Number two, again, I don't think it's a small thing. Why would Jeff Zucker, why would Jeff Zucker resign? Because he was having a consensual affair. I mean, I poo-poo it. You didn't report it that you were having it. You didn't report that you were having a romantic relationship. But we're talking We're talking about millionaires here. Jeff Zucker being president, that is financially lucrative for a lot of people. President of CNN, I mean. Chris Wallace from Fox News is reportedly irate because he left Fox to go to CNN's little streaming platform for Zucker. So it never made sense to me. Why is he resigning? Because he had an affair, a consensual affair with somebody at work. All right, pay, 1 week suspension for not reporting it. So when you look underneath the hood, it makes sense. No, he probably resigned to avoid any of that lawsuit from going to court. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.